The following is a Hennessy Hendo production. It includes excerpts and material from my vast collection of books and general knowledge. Please share the videos, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
H.G. Wells, 1866 to 1946, one of the most prominent writers of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is best known for his works of science fiction such as The War of the Worlds, The Time Machine, and The Invisible Man. However, Wells was also a committed social thinker and political commentator who actively engaged with socialist ideas throughout his life. Wells' early influences and conversion to socialism. Wells' background significantly shaped his views on society. Born into a lower middle-class family, Wells experienced poverty and class struggle firsthand. These early experiences fostered a sense of injustice about the disparities of wealth and opportunity. Wells received a scholarship to study biology under T.H. Huxley, a major proponent of Darwinism, and this scientific education strongly influenced his worldview. He viewed society through an evolutionary lens, believing in progress, adaptation, and improvement over time. Wells became drawn to socialism during the late Victorian period, which saw the rise of socialist movements in Britain. He was influenced by figures like William Morris and the writings of Karl Marx, though he never fully adhered to Marxist orthodoxy. For Wells, socialism represented a means to address inequality and create a more rational and efficient society. The Fabian Society and Wells' role in early 20th century socialism. Wells became an active member of the Fabian Society, a British socialist group founded in 1884 that advocated for gradual social reform rather than revolutionary change. The Fabians, including intellectuals like Sidney and Beatrice Webb and George Bernard Shaw, sought to promote socialism through education and political influence within democratic institutions. Wells initially shared their goals but soon grew frustrated with the society's methods. He criticized the Fabians for their lack of boldness and innovation, believing their approach was too bureaucratic and timid. Wells argued for a more dynamic and visionary socialism that embraced scientific progress and technological development as tools for creating a better society. His ideas often clashed with other members of the group, leading to public disputes and his eventual departure from the Fabian Society. Key themes of Wells' socialism. 1. The role of science and technology. Wells believed that science and technology could solve social problems. Unlike many socialists of his time, he envisioned a future where human ingenuity would eliminate scarcity, poverty, and suffering. His novels often depict technological advancements reshaping society, for better or worse, while his political writings called for scientists and intellectuals to guide humanity. 2. World government and internationalism. Wells was an advocate of global unity and believed nationalism was an obstacle to human progress. His vision of socialism extended beyond individual nations to encompass a world state that could ensure peace, equality, and the fair distribution of resources. His 1928 work The Open Conspiracy outlines his ideas for a rational, scientifically organized world government. 3. Class struggle and rational planning. While Wells agreed with socialists on the need to address class inequalities, he differed from Marxists on the importance of class conflict. Wells believed in rational, planned social change rather than revolution. His vision was technocratic, a society governed by an elite of scientifically minded experts and planners who would prioritize the common good over personal or class interests. 4. Critique of capitalism and individualism. Wells criticized the inefficiencies and inequities of capitalism. He believed it was morally wrong for wealth and resources to be concentrated in the hands of a few, while the majority lived in poverty. However, his socialism was less about collectivism and more about optimizing human society through reason and planning. Political involvement and later life. Wells' involvement with socialism was not confined to theory. He stood as a parliamentary candidate for the Socialist Labour Party but failed to win a seat. Despite his lack of formal political success, he remained an influential public intellectual and commentator on social issues. Throughout his later life, Wells remained critical of both capitalism and authoritarian forms of socialism, such as Stalinist communism. He saw the Soviet Union's developments with initial optimism but became disillusioned by its repressive and anti-intellectual tendencies. Wells' socialist ideals became increasingly utopian as he grew older. He believed humanity needed a reconstruction of civilization to survive the challenges of war, poverty, and environmental degradation. His final works continued to advocate for global cooperation and scientific advancement as the path to a better future. 1. The Fabian Society. As previously mentioned, Wells joined the Fabian Society in the early 1900s but had significant ideological conflicts with its leadership. He found the gradualist approach to socialism too conservative and bureaucratic. Despite this, his time with the Fabians was critical in cementing his public role as a socialist thinker. 2. The Royal Society of Literature, RSL. Wells was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature, FRSL, which is the oldest literary society in Britain, founded in 1820. The RSL recognizes distinguished writers and fosters the appreciation of literature. Wells' prolific output and significant contributions to both fiction and social commentary earned him this honor. 3. The Royal Institution, RI. Given his keen interest in science, Wells had connections to the Royal Institution of Great Britain. The RI, established in 1799, is dedicated to scientific education and research. Wells' scientific background, having studied under T.H. Huxley, and his promotion of science as a tool for societal advancement made him a natural ally of this institution. 4. The Labour Party. While not a formal society, Wells' involvement with the Labour Party was significant. He was a supporter of the party in its early years and even ran as a Labour candidate for Parliament, though unsuccessfully. His association with the Labour movement reflected his commitment to political reform and socialist principles. 5. Penn International. Wells served as the president of Penn International, then known as the Penn Club, from 1933 to 1936. Penn International is a worldwide association of writers, founded to promote literature, freedom of expression, and solidarity among writers globally. During Wells' tenure, he worked to defend writers persecuted under repressive regimes, particularly in Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia. 6. The League of Nations Union, LNU. Wells was a prominent supporter of the League of Nations Union, an organization dedicated to promoting the principles of the League of Nations, the forerunner to the United Nations. The LNU sought to foster international cooperation and prevent future wars, ideas closely aligned with Wells' vision of a world state and global governance. 7. The Rationalist Press Association, RPA. Wells was involved with the Rationalist Press Association, an organization that promoted science, secularism, and rational thinking. The RPA published works aimed at challenging religious orthodoxy and advancing scientific and humanist ideals. This association complemented Wells' belief in science as the key to societal progress. 8. The Malthusian League. Wells had some connections to the Malthusian League, an organization advocating for population control based on the principles of Thomas Malthus. Wells shared concerns about overpopulation and its strain on resources, which he explored in his writings. However, his views were often more nuanced and focused on scientific solutions rather than strict Malthusian doctrines. 9. The British Interplanetary Society, BIS. As a visionary of science fiction and space exploration, Wells had connections to early space advocacy movements like the British Interplanetary Society, founded in 1933. While not a central member, Wells' works, such as The War of the Worlds, inspired the organization's vision of human space travel and extraterrestrial exploration. 10. The Ethical Society. Wells was also sympathetic to the ideals of ethical societies, groups that promoted humanism, morality, and reason as alternatives to religious doctrines. These societies aligned with Wells' secular and rationalist worldview. Conclusion: Wells' legacy as a socialist thinker. H. G. Wells' socialism was unique in its blend of optimism, science, and internationalism. While he rejected revolutionary Marxism, his vision for a scientifically managed, rational society reflected his belief in human progress. His ideas influenced both socialist movements and the broader discourse on the future of civilization. Though often criticized for being overly idealistic, Wells remains a significant figure in the history of socialist thought due to his bold and imaginative proposals for transforming society.
Thank you for watching. Please share the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out other series including 10-minute synopses or complete audiobooks on Hennessy Hendo on YouTube. Improve your vocabulary. Be more fun at parties. Increase your knowledge. Become a literary master like Hendo.